or fabric that is very very lousy in material, and it is not unlike the shroud which is going to be with perfume for the believer. This is the opposite. Just imagine the opposite of that. And he will sit around him as far as the eye can see. And then the angel of death will come and sit by his head, and he will say, "O evil soul, come out to the wrath of your Lord and his anger." And then as soon as that happens, his soul will disperse in his body. Then it will come out cutting through the veins, just like a skewer is pulled through wet wool. Get some wool, this material, wet it with some water, make it damp, and then try to, this the one for kebab, this is the skewer. Try to pull that through wet cotton or wool. How does it feel? How is the process? Unlike the drop of water. It's a very difficult one. This is how the soul will be snatched for the disbeliever and the hypocrite, and this is a manifestation of Allah's statement, وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا, by the angels who take away the souls of the disbelievers in this very painful manner. And so then they will wrap it with the sackcloth, and the foulest stench will come out from this body. And they will try to take it up to the heavens. Now when they make it to the heaven, what will happen? It will not be open to them. They will say first, "Who is so-and-so? Who is this soul?" They say, "This is so-and-so, the name of the son of so-and-so." And they will call him by the worst names he used to have in his dunya. And so the angels will not open the door of the lowest heaven. It will not be open. Allah says subhanahu wa ta'ala, "لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط." The doors of heavens will not open for them. And they should not enter Jannah until a camel goes through the eye of the needle. You know the needle that they use at the tailor? Can you imagine a camel going through the eye of a needle? This is to say that it will never happen. Once a camel goes through the eye of a needle, the disbelievers will enter Jannah. The camel will never go through the eye of the needle. The disbelievers will never go to Jannah. This is from the eloquence of the Quran and the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will not enter Jannah, and the doors of the heavens will not open to them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, "Record the book of my slave in Sijjin," which is in the lowest of earth, "and return him, because verily from them I created it, to them I shall return it, and from them I will bring them forth a third time." Then the Prophet ﷺ said, recited the ayah in the Quran, وَمَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَكَأَنَّمَا خَرَّ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ فَتَخْطَفُهُ الطَّيْرُ أَوْ تَهْوِي بِهِ الرِّيحُ فِي مَكَانٍ صَحِيحٍ. Whoever ascribes partners with Allah, it's as if he has fallen off from the sky, and then the birds snatch him, or the wind throw him away in a far off place. They will not be allowed to move up anymore. They will be returned. Then the soul is returned to his body, and then the two angels will come to him and ask him the same three questions. What is your religion? He will say, I don't know. Who is your Lord? I don't know. What do you say about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He will make the same thing. He will give him the same answer. Thereupon, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah will cause the grave to be tightened until his ribs interlock. His ribs will interlock. They will go into each other due to the tightness of this person's grave. Even though you don't see it if you open the grave, but this is indeed what is happening below the earth. And then a man will come to him with an ugly looking man with ugly clothes and everything. And he will say, "Who are you? Your face is the face of bad news." He will say, "I am your bad deeds. I am your bad deeds." He will say, "Allahumma la tuqim as-sa'a." Oh Allah, do not establish the hour. Do not establish the hour, because what is coming after is worse. Uthman radiallahu anhu used to go to the graveyard, and he would stand over the grave and continue to weep until his beard will become wet. And when he was asked, "Why do you cry so much near the graveyard?" even though you read the verses in the Quran about Jannah and Jahannam and you don't cry as much as you cry in the graveyard. He said, verily I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that the graveyard, the grave is the first stages from the stages of the hereafter. So if whatever happens in the grave is good, then whatever comes after shall also be good. But if it is evil, then whatever comes after shall be even more evil. And so this understanding indicates that if the person's in that condition, then what comes after is not going to be any pleasing to that individual. And so this is the seriousness. This is why the person say, لا تقم الساعة. He does not want the hour to come, because what is waiting for him on the day of judgment shall be much more severe. نسأل الله تعالى العافية. This hadith was authenticated by Shaykh al-Albani in his book أحكام الجنائز وبدعها. طيب. Another form of punishment which we have is an authentic narration from Abdullah ibn Umar in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, where the Prophet ﷺ said, whilst a man was dragging his lower garment out of pride, the earth swallowed him up, and he will continue sinking into the earth until the day of resurrection. And this particular narration deals with this calamity that has befallen the Muslims, that of sagging their lower garment, or in other words, keeping it below the ankles. We have mentioned in many various occasions, and we will take the opportunity now to remind the brothers only. For the sisters, you need to have your clothes below your ankles. Barakallahu fikun. For the men, you cannot be like the sisters on the other side. You cannot resemble them, because this brings about curse. Second, you are going and doing something that would put you in a very dangerous position on the day of judgment. You may say, Akhi, because of some clothes, because of my pants, Allah will punish me. People start using their rationale. Because of this, you're going to tell me that all the prayer I'm doing and all this and this, then you get a whole lecture. Say, listen, you either believe or you don't believe. Either the Prophet ﷺ was playing with us, or he was serious. And if you believe he was playing with us, then you need to re-enter into Islam. If you believe he was serious, then you need to believe. Life is a test. Allah may test you with the garments if He wills. Or He may test you with worship and other forms. This is none of our business. But we must believe. So no Muslim male can afford to be wearing any kind of clothing, be it your dress pants, or your, the Pakistani outfit, or your thawb, if you're from the Middle East, or whatever you wish to wear, whatever kind, whatever country you come from, you cannot keep it below your ankles. This hadith says that the earth will swallow this person, and this mentions particularly those who sag. You know, the supposedly cool teenagers, the hip-hop teenagers, you must have your pants, I'm not going to get very graphical here, but you know what I'm saying. This ugly looking appearance, looks like, somebody had tried to pull his pants while he was walking and they failed because the belt was good enough. And so, but it got stuck over there. He was too lazy to bring it back up. And so you find, his lower garments is folded four folds, 5, 6 times, It's like there's, enough fabric to dress a whole family. But all of it is right there at the bottom near his shoes. So you can look cool. But these people have failed to understand that coolness is only attained in Jannah. Right? If you really want to be cool, go to Jannah. You can be as cool as you want. But what people consider to be cool today is really hot. And not hot in this positive sense that the teenagers use, hot as in Jahannam hot. It's not cool at all. So we must have this right understanding. Don't try to follow this, because in the 60s, you know what,